Quick disclaimer alert. If you don't like grindy games where it's all about the grind for better gear and constantly upgrading and updating your equipment, then well, this game might not be for you in all honesty. But wait, hold up, wait a minute. I implore you to keep an open mind if you end up watching the rest of this video, as this game is 100% worth your attention. Monster Hunter Rise, my broskies. I personally played Monster Hunter World was my last game, and I played that almost exclusively in multiplayer, only because I thought I couldn't stand a single chance against the numerous amount of monsters that are in the game. Those are some big ass creatures, and most of them look like, well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Coming into Rise, I told myself that I'm really going to focus on playing this as a single player game, and while you can and will finish whatever resemblance of a story this game has in around 20 hours, there is so much more to this game than at first sight. I think I speak for a large portion of gamers out there that it was a damn shame to see this game release only on the Switch console back in March of 21. And at least in my case, I wasn't gonna spend no freaking 300 bucks on a Switch just to play this and Legend of Zelda basically. And now in 2023, Rise finally found its way to PS5 and Series X and S consoles, and well, simply put, it's amazing. This version of the game supports the now typical 4K 60 resolution. It's just fancy gaming words. Look, it looks good on your screen, okay? I've been playing it pretty much non-stop for the last few weeks, and my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. It's so much fun. You know what else is fun? Subscribing to the channel. So go on, click that button down below. I'll give you 2 seconds. Let's move on. The single player experience comes with so much more preparation and thought than in multiplayer, just because of the fact that there aren't 3 other players just mindlessly swinging their large weapons with their Japanese usernames and seemingly perfect reflexes. Instead, you hunt the Gigantamasaurus number of monsters all by your lonesome. You are joined by your pet Palico and Palamute, basically dog and cat, or a combination of the two. There are a huge number of weapons to choose from, with all of them having extensive upgrade trees and variations to them. Freedom of choice is the aim of the game, and experimenting with different weapons to find what playstyle works for you is in part amazing and also in part frustrating at times, because you constantly wonder if, for example, the charge blade is better than the longsword or gun lance, so on and so on. Even if honestly the game boils down to basically just hunting monsters of different sizes, you always find yourself working towards another piece of gear or another weapon to complete a build to be able to take on even larger monsters, then rinse and repeat. It has to be said though that the monsters at the beginning of the game weren't all that difficult, in all honesty. Only around the 5-star mission mark did the game spike in difficulty, where the builds and stats actually start to matter. But here's the fun yet controversial part. The base game actually ends at 5 stars, but that's only where the true experience begins. You just keep unlocking new monsters to fight and gear to work towards, and seemingly the fun never stops. The preparation you put into each hunt as a solo player sometimes goes beyond healthy limits, with you researching the wikis of the game and in-game notes to find what works best for each monster, and this becomes an addictive cycle that isn't found in most other games. Now, with all that being said, this is a very solid base to have for a video game, and they keep releasing free updates as well as the huge Sunbreak DLC coming in a few months, with even more penis monsters to fight and gear to grind towards. The game looks like it has the formula to be considered as one of the best games of the year, easily. Well, I gotta burst the bubble just a bit on this one. The learning curve is quite steep for new players, and they might initially feel overwhelmed with all there is to offer. As each of the weapon classes are fundamentally different, picking up another weapon class isn't like changing weapons in a regular shooter game or a regular RPG for that matter. There are simple and complex mechanics to learn with each class, and it can be a bit off-putting, to be perfectly honest. Learning the monsters is also the same, with the hunts being similar to how it is in the Souls games in general, as knowing when to dodge and counter is essentially your bread and butter in this game. The game does do a decent job at warning you with audio cues when necessary, but in general, you're looking at fighting each monster quite a few times to get the hang of the mechanics. Now, this might seem like a huge hill to climb to some, but players who stick through the initial learning curve and sometimes very grindy gameplay, there is amazing fun to be had and a truly unforgettable experience here. Above everything, the game is fun. In fact, I really can't remember the last time I had this much fun playing a video game, and with more content at launch that would put most other games to shame these days. You are well on your way to playing this game for even hundreds of hours. So to all the non-Monster Hunter fans out there, I beg of thee, please give this game a look, give it your attention for even 1 minute. you won't regret it, honestly. And in case you do regret it, well, I can't help you there, buddy. That pretty much wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to click the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on if you've actually played Monster Hunter before, or if you're just getting into Rise now. Hope you guys have a great day wherever you're from. I'll catch you in the next upload.